Alright guys, I'm not going to lie to you. We're not going to win the league this year, but a respectable finish might be on the cards. Hello guys, and welcome back to the 5th episode, not the 5th episode, the 6th episode of Replicating Ranieri with Toulouse, where today we are playing 2 games in the league, as per usual. I don't know why I always say we're playing 2 games in the league, against Saint Etienne and then Lens. 2 games that could be very important in the grand scheme of the league, because we have moved all the way up to 6th place. We have done very well since last time out, and I will show you exactly what has happened since the last time we saw each other. The last game that we played was this one against, again, a team that I can't pronounce, but since then I've played 4 games off camera where we have won 2 of them and drawn against AS Monaco, which is certainly not a bad result. We even managed to get our first goal for our young central attacking midfielder / striker by the name of De Vito. I can actually pronounce that name, I should start just saying it. So that is good to get him off the mark straight off the bat. Hopefully he can feature a bit more in the squad and do a little bit better. We were knocked out of the French Cup, which is something I'm not too disappointed by. It means that we can focus on the league, and we do need to do exactly that as we jump straight into our first game of the episode against Saint Etienne. So let's go straight into it now. The odds are in our favour for this game, with them down in 11th place and us up in 6th. So hopefully we can do what the media thinks we can and come away with all 3 points. This is the team that we're going with for the game at hand, and I think that we have just about everyone fully fit apart from Kone, who is unfortunately injured, a very important player in our squad, but I don't think he'll be missed all that much, with everyone else completely fully match fit for this game, ready to go. Let's jump straight into it without any further ado, and hopefully we can come away with another win in the Ligue 1 season. Saint Etienne are lucky enough to have Paulson up top, who's a very prolific striker in this game if you have used him. Well, he wasn't exactly a prolific striker the one time I signed him in this game, but I have seen him play well, and he is through on goal straight off the bat. But luckily for us, he doesn't prove himself correct there, well, prove me correct there, and put it into the back of the net, which normally would happen, because as soon as you start talking about a player in Football Manager, as we all know, it means that they score a goal against you. It's just how it works. I don't make the rules, but I think Sports Interactive have genuinely coded that into the game, as I think I mentioned that last game. Gosh, I love reusing jokes. So let's actually focus on the game at hand, and it looks like a pretty even affair so far. Neither team looking like they're really getting a foothold in the match. I mean, I guess you could say we have been the more dominant side with 3 shots to their 1 and 67% possession, but we haven't seen a single highlight come our way just yet. So hopefully we have one just before half-time. But with the clock ticking down, I think that it might be a dull first half. With 5 minutes to go, I'd love to see a highlight, but you know, you don't always get what you want in life, and I think that we're going to be going into half-time at 0-0. Go tell the team that I'm disappointed with the performance out there, just to hopefully fire them up, and maybe that will give them the wee edge that they need to create some opportunities for ourselves in the second half. These 3 men up top have been very good this season, but it looks like this game they're probably not doing exactly what we want from them, so it might be time to think about starting starting to bring on De Vito, and maybe bringing on off Fontaine, because he hasn't had the best day at the office, but I guess he hasn't really had many opportunities yet. And you know what, I'm going to make that substitution, because right now I'm just waiting for the clock to tick by, and if I just sit here and wait for that to happen, then at the end of the day we might not end up scoring at all. So we're going to chuck him on, and also a left winger for Vallejo, put him on as a complete forward, because we know how well Iglesias did in that role last year. Hopefully we can get something out of the last few minutes of the game, and it could be in the form of this corner. It's not for us though, and they managed to go 1-0 up after 66 minutes. This is the second highlight that we get to see in the game. And of course they put it into the back of the net from a corner. Straight off the bat, we have another chance, and that's surprising to say the least, especially considering what's been happening in the rest of the game. We're knocking the ball quite well after the kick-off, De Vito on it, and it looks like we are the ones through on goal, and De Vito quickly puts it into the back of the net and puts us back on level terms. What an introduction from the substitute after a kick-off. We don't mind that at all, and it's back on level terms. You have to say that that was a very interesting period of the match after a really dull affair. So hopefully we can have a little bit more of that as the game continues. 5 minutes to go, and I actually don't know what to do. I'm going to move on to a positive mentality. Hopefully they can get a goal to win the game. You know what, let's go with, no, let's not make a shout. We don't want to ruin this chance. Actually, no, I don't know if it is our chance, so let's show some passion and see if they do anything in the last few minutes. It looks like it could be their opportunity, as they do a great over-the-top through ball, but luckily for us, our goalkeeper does make a fine save, and very late on in the game, there's exactly what you want from your man in between the sticks. Lopez to swing in the corner for them. Luckily for us, we don't actually get to see what happens. It looks like time's ticking away. I'm moving on to an attacking mentality, but I don't think it's going to do anything, and the game does end at 1-1. I mean, not a bad result at all, and I guess I'll say I'm far from pleased with the performance just to fire them up. Hopefully they can do a bit better in the next game, but a 1-1 draw away from home against a side that aren't really that much worse or better than us is probably a result that we will take. So let's jump straight into the next game of the episode without any further ado, which is against, who is it against? It's against Lens. So hopefully we can come away with a win, as that team is the one that is right behind us in the league, so we can't let this one slip. Like I said, no messing around, let's jump straight into the next game. I've simulated forward and we are ready to go. Unfortunately, we still don't have Kone back from injury, so this is the team that we're going to go with. Actually, you know what? Final minute substitution. We're going to bring on DeVito and see if he can get another goal after coming on and finishing his dinner in that game. And let's jump straight into it, and hopefully we come away with 3 points to make it 4 points from 2 games in this episode, which wouldn't be bad. Now, this side are up in 7th place, and you have to say, they're probably overachieving about as much as we are, so this should be a very even affair. Both sides doing a lot better than you would think they would do in this league on paper, but I think that we might have the slight edge with some better players than them, but that's just my personal opinion, and probably a wee bit of a biased opinion. I'm a big fan of the players that we do have in the squad. I think, considering we've only had a small amount of time to bring this team together 3 days before the first game, remember, I think we have a pretty good 11, and it has taken a while to get them to gel, but I think we are going onto the right track. And if they keep building with the Toulouse side after I leave the club, they certainly could be competing for a Ligue 1 title in maybe a couple of years. But unfortunately, we won't be there to do that, and I would love to say I need to focus on the game, but there's nothing to focus on right now. This first half has absolutely flown by. No highlights to speak of, and I'm going to tell the boys I'm not happy with the performance, because I like to see a bit more finishing product from our strikers, and especially with DeVito on the pitch, you'd want him to try and make a statement, being a new signing and getting his first start of the season. I think it is his first start of the season. I could be incorrect there, but we're going to move on to a positive mentality, see if that does anything in the second half. It will tell them to get creative, because clearly we need a little bit of creativity to get our first chance of the game, and it's still not come 60 minutes, 12 shots. You have to say, it should have come by now, and it finally does. It is us on the ball, playing out to DeVito, who is out on the left, but he is cutting inside. And that's just not even a chance. You may as well have not shown us the chance at all. I actually would have rather have not seen that happen, because now I kind of want to take DeVito off. Actually, I'm going to do it. It's just a terrible shot. I feel obligated to take him off after that. And I think we're going to bring on... Yeah, let's bring this man on the left wing. Just like last game, we're taking off the striker and the left winger and switching it up to see what those substitutes can do. Hopefully they can make a bit of a difference, and hopefully Fontaine gets an opportunity to have a better shot than DeVito's shot just before. And maybe we can have a second highlight of the game, but maybe that would be spoiling us Sports Interactive. I don't want to ask too much from you guys. It's not like we've only had 17 shots in this game. Take that up to 19. Come on, you've got to say we deserve to score a goal at some point now. 7 shots on target, 20. Just, what is going on? Can we see us, get some of these shots? I don't even care if this game finishes 0. Well, I do. We've been absolutely dominant. But I'd just like to see us get a goal. I'll tell them to show some passion in the last few minutes. But it does look like it's just going to end 0, unless we have some very late drama happening in this game. I don't see a way that we manage to claw our way to more than just 1 point in this game. We'll bring him on, play him as a cam. see if it does anything for the last few minutes. You know what, shadow striker just because we can. Go on to an attacking mentality. A draw is not good enough, especially with this statistical analysis going on. But I think, with 3 minutes of additional time, this is probably the blandest game I've ever shown you guys. Oh my goodness. That was the most uneventful game of Football Manager I've ever played in my entire life. And how we didn't score a goal in it is so beyond me. It's not even like they didn't have chances to show us. We had 25 shots. Well, that's interesting. At least we've continued our unbeaten run, and I guess that does mean that we stay up in 6th place for at least one more week. But it doesn't exactly help us bridge the gap between us and Lille and broaden the gap between us and Lens. But you know what? We're in the same place that we were at the end of last episode. You know, you win some, you lose some, and sometimes nothing happens. And that certainly was happened in this episode. Gosh, I need to make t-shirts with that quote on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is where we're going to end this episode. Hope you did enjoy it. Make sure to like and subscribe for daily Football Manager content on this channel. Hopefully in the next episode we have a little bit more of an interesting affair in at least one of our games. And I'll see you all later.